From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Girls Soccer. It's the Phoebus Phantoms and the Bethel Bruins. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Darling Stadium. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz, and we welcome you to sun-drenched Darling Stadium. First warm weather of the season, and it happens to be on our initial soccer contest of the season. Temperature at game time in the 80s, bright sunshine, no chance of rain. Bob, we're out here and we're going to be watching the Phoebus girls and the Bethel girls. The Bethel Bruins girls team 2-3 on the season. They're in 5th place, and the Phoebus Phantoms looking for their first victory at 0-4.
Well, Tim, this is a beautiful day, as you said. The Phoebus Phantoms, of course, are in the blue. The Bruins are in the green and white, and we apologize for some of the numbers if we miss them, because those are hard to see on that white jersey. But
well, we're going to run down the starters for both teams. If you're wanting to do that, Bob, I don't think we have it for the fans to see on the screen, but we
we should have it. I gave it to the man in the truck, so I don't know if we'll see it. We'll wait.
Let's do the visitors, Bethel first, and we'll show the
visitors are
viewers.
The white is the home team.
I'm sorry, the Bethel home team. There we see the starters: Hill, Cheever, Prejean, Goodson, Robbins, Kashani, Hancock, Lawson, Keene, Bennett, and your goalkeeper is Rathman. Ruby Rathman. The coach is Irene Bieri. I believe that's how her name is pronounced, hopefully.
Yeah, she teaches over at Davis Middle School. I know that. I'll give you a chance. We'll show you the Lady Phantoms.
We're just underway. There is no score. We are just playing in the first 2 minutes of the period.
And then you see the Phantoms: Leto, Gallagher, Scally, Ainsley, Carpenter, Lawher, Green, Harris, Messenger, Phelps, and Norman. And we have two German exchange students, Tim, which is very unusual, one for each team, and they didn't know there was another German exchange student at the other school. So that's rather interesting. But number 15 for the Phantoms, Katrin Lorber, is an exchange student from Germany. And I'll find out who the other one is. Here we go. Number 2 is young starter Nadia Kachani. No, I'm sorry, that's not her either. Where did she go?
Hopefully she's still here.
I hope she's here, but that's the way it goes. I'll find an exchange student.
For which team are you looking for, Bob? The Phoebus team?
No, the Bruins.
The Bruins.
Yeah.
Was that Angela Prejean?
Oh, you think I'd have written it down, wouldn't you? Somewhere. Nope. I don't know. We'll find it.
All right.
If we do, we do.
That's right. We'll keep looking. For those uninitiated.
No.
Well, let me get this out, and then you can interrupt me. For those uninitiated, there is a running clock. Now, the clock never stops for the play. There's 45-minute halves, and the clock runs continuously. If there is an injury, then the referee will note it by actually stopping his clock, and then he'll add time to the 45 minutes for a stoppage of play as a result of an injury.
All right.
But even during this time, for example, while we're setting up for a corner kick by the Phantoms, the clock is, in fact, running. So unlike basketball or football where you have a stoppage of the clock during a stoppage of the play, you don't have that case in soccer. Corner kick for the Phantoms, and it is knocked over the goal line, so they'll do it again. The young lady with the corner kick is Tasha Messenger. She is the sweeper position for the Phantoms.
She's one of the captains on the Phoebus team. They have 3 captains. 4 captains, maybe. Yep, they got 4 captains. Anyway, she's got a 4.19 GPA, Tim. We have some awesome GPA from both of these teams.
Well, I also want to tell you that was an awesome corner kick because that was almost set up for a goal as she centered the ball beautifully, but unfortunately for the Phantoms, they were unable to make contact, and the ball went over the goal line, resulting in a goalie kick. Phantoms again on the attack, and the ball saved at the goal line. Good job of dribbling by the Phantom, and the ball on the goal line.
Well, I tell you, they're fighting for that.
Kept in play. Shot on goal.
Oh! And it went in, and that may have been, yes, I'll get the number of that young lady, but it was a rebound effect. Looked like the goalkeeper was going to get it. Watch it on replay.
See if we can pick up her number.
Looks like 20-something, Tim.
Well, let's see on this replay if we can see the number of the young lady right at the goal there.
If she turned around, I'd get it. She's standing right at midfield. If it's 23, it's Trajan Howard. If it's 20, it's Ashley Harris. 21.
Okay.
And it's Ramey Scally. She's a striker right forward.
So the Phantoms, looking for their first victory of the season, strike first. As approximately 8 minutes into the play of the first half, Scally scores, giving the Phantoms a 1-0 lead. Play continues at midfield. We're going to just let the camera work do most of the talking for us and let it happen. We'll try and identify the players as we go along. Again, good work.
Oh, I tell you, that was a great job that time. She was double teamed to get a kick off, wide left of the goal. But what a great job!
That was Jessica Lito, number 19, who was dribbling very well.
Yeah, she's one of the captains, Jim, with a 3.86 GPA. She's National Honor Society, Key Club, Marine JROTC. Going to go to Christopher Newport in the fall.
Again, the Phantoms threatening. And the ball across the touchline, so now it'll be a throw-in for the Phantoms. For some of those of you watching who aren't necessarily familiar with some of the soccer positions, I will tell you that the teams are consisting of forwards, and they're described as being need to be fast and able to move and control the ball well, often also known as goal scorers or strikers. Then you have defenders. They should be tenacious. I'm reading here, it says holding ground against opponents who want to score. Defenders should have good communication skills, especially with the rest of the defensive players. Then you have midfielders who need superb ball skills after with passing being the most important of those. And then finally you have the goalkeeper. And then additionally there's one last player called the sweeper. This is a special kind of defender who has the flexibility to help out in virtually any part of the field, usually positioned between the other defenders. Sweepers often share the leadership responsibilities with goalkeepers. So they're kind of like a roving
plethora of information coming from the mouth of Timothy.
There you go.
We never did mention the Phoebus head coach. That's Jack Zamora. You talked about Irene, but we didn't get a chance to talk about Zach. So we want to make sure we mention him.
Zach? Is that what he goes by?
Jack. I call him Zach because it starts with a Z. His last. No, it's Jack.
That was Zach Zamora.
He does now.
We did that once many years ago to Killer Kozlowski, the former Bethel High football coach. We named him Killer because it just sounded natural. So.
He's having a big shindig tonight.
Is it tonight? The 5th, rather?
Yep.
And your tickets were in the mail like mine, I imagine?
Yeah. Well, I was told to be there, and I said, well,
you were told to be there?
I'm going to be a little late.
Well, I wasn't even asked, so we'll just let that lie right there. After all we did for him.
All we did, yeah. Going to miss Killer Kyle's on the sideline. Missed him last year.
Yes, we did. We have a free kick, or a goalie kick, I should say. And again, most of the action has been at the Bethel end of the field. The Phantoms have been very aggressive on offense and lead 1-0. If you joined us late, you're watching the girls' contest between Bethel and Phoebus. Bethel 2-3 on the season. They're in 5th place in the district. Phoebus looking for their first victory of the season. So far, it's been pretty much the control of the Phantoms.
And that little horn means we're getting a substitute? Yep. Looks like number 16 for the Phantoms going off. That's Jessica Gallagher. She's taking a breather.
I believe she was
14.
replaced by 14,
Yeah.
which is Jen Moore, who is a striker.
And she's got a 3.6 GPA. Some of these young ladies give me some extra information. If I can get it, I will shoot it to you.
Jen Moore, a junior. Phantoms controlling the ball. Now the Bruins.
Looked like they're going to get a breakaway, but defense was what they were supposed to be.
Seems almost as if the Bruins are laying back on offense. They don't seem to be nearly as aggressive at this point in the contest as the Phantoms. Strange backspin on that last ball.
Yeah, everybody's going the other direction.
Kind of looked like a full
Whoa.
pitching wedge, right?
Yeah. Some of the action wish I could get on the ball. I remember reading an article on talking about backspin on a ball. When Tiger Woods was about 5 or 6, he went up to his instructor and said, how do I get rid of the backspin on the ball? And he says, don't worry about it. Hit it beyond the hole and sprint it back. And he says, okay. He's been doing it right ever since.
Yeah, ever since.
You and I, we don't get hardly any spin unless it's right to left or left to right, right?
I get all that. I guess what we really should consider, Bob, is covering high school golf one of these times.
Oh, that'd be great.
All we need is 18 cameras.
That's all. Oh, we could just stay at one green and get everybody as they come through. We could do that. I had a guy from one of the Hampton girls track coaches says, "How come you don't do track?"
Yeah.
Hey,
Golf
we could make that exciting, Scotty.
Golf
We could
exciting.
do that one.
That's right.
Wow. Let me analyze this swing. Oh, I have something for you, Tim. Where's my?
I hope it's Claritin.
Yeah, you're sniffing and snorting and everything over there.
Well, you know what? It seems like every year we do soccer, I get allergies. I think I'm allergic to soccer.
Look at the asterisks, and you will see the proposed football schedule starting one Friday and going straight through 10. Yes, if that was in the background, that was Tim clearing his throat.
No, it wasn't either.
Oh.
Oh, excuse me.
All right, we got a breakaway. Nice clear out.
Well, again, the Phantoms on defense not allowing the Bruins to get anything really going.
Kelly Green did a good job that time, number 2. She's got a 3.35 GPA. National Honor Society, Key Clubs, and the choir on the yearbook staff. These young ladies all have a lot of activities they do besides soccer. We'll have another soccer match for you fans Wednesday of next week, the 10th. We will bring you the Kickingham-Hampton soccer match.
Easy to remember who's going to be there because it's the other teams we're not covering today.
That's very easy.
Well, I noticed on your schedule here we don't have any breaks. I thought last year we had.
Well, we do at the end of the season. We don't do the last game of the season.
Oh. I'd rather have some breaks in the middle of the season.
Always wanting something. Throw in that time. Ramona Robbins, number 11, throwing the ball in, got a 3.6 GPA. Key club and things in the school course. And I see Rahama, number 16, is in there, Tim. That's yours.
Oh, thank you.
There's a little scramble going down there. Yeah, good job by Kelly Green to fight that out from between two offensive-minded. Here we go. Got a 2-on-1.
Unfortunately for the Bruins, the shot was directly to the goalkeeper and resulted in a save. Jamie Norman with the easy save. I'm going to assume the uniform of the young lady is some form of perhaps a religious religious reasoning for not wearing the traditional shorts. Some reason for wearing a very heavy full both long sleeved as well as pants length. Or she's trying to lose weight. I'm not sure which.
No, I think it's more probably to do with the religious beliefs. But
and that is, in fact, we're told the reasoning. The Phantoms, again, in the attack zone. Bruins are able to clear it out. But the smothering defense of Phoebus has prevented the Phantoms from having, the Bruins rather, from having very many opportunities.
Oh, there was a miscommunication that time. He's one of the young ladies from Phoebus thought the other one was going to get it. And we got an offside, I think.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you said that because I have researched endlessly the most common misunderstood rule in soccer is the offside, because it does vary. There's not a point on the field that determines you're being offside. Like, for example, in hockey, there is the blue line determines if you precede the puck and so forth. But the rule in offside in soccer is a player is offside or in an offside position if she is nearer to her opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent.
What?
Yep, I just read them. I don't necessarily.
Man, would that be hard to do? I guess it's just like anything else. You're used to it and you know what to look for.
Right, you can't. I can. I'm glad you asked that too.
Scotty wants to know the diameter ball. He wants to buy one. He wants to make sure he gets the right size.
I do have that. Wait a minute. I've left that in
my
briefcase.
No.
But I have the dimensions of the field, which varies, unlike a football or basketball court or field.
Oh, basketball courts can vary.
They can.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, that was an affirmative. They
can.
Oh, yeah. For the most part, they don't.
No,
but
you're
they
right.
can. But the field has to be rectangular in play and can be anywhere from a minimum of 90 yards to a maximum of 130 yards in length. Excuse me, 100 yards to 130 yards. And the width can vary from 45 yards. Now here's where the variance comes in. And this field, we're told, is a full-sized soccer field. I think we talked about this before. A field can be as wide as 90 yards maximum, but as little as 45 yards in the minimum. So that's a huge variance.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 50 yards up to 100 yards in width. So there you go. And I did have, and I didn't print it out because I didn't know Scotty was going to ask it, but I did have
Scotty caught you
on the ball. I did have the actual circumference of the soccer ball.
Well, he'll just have to wait till next week to buy one.
There you go. I'll have it for him in our next game.
That's what I'm talking about.
I do know it's white and round.
Well, you put that on. I can listen to that.
And bigger than a tennis ball and smaller than a basketball. Those are the dimensions on the soccer ball. If you joined us late, we are about 20 minutes into the first half, and our score is Phoebus 1 and Bethel 0. Goal came at about the 8-minute mark. We do not have a clock here to confirm that, but I watched the time on my watch when we started the game.
On your Timex?
Well, not exactly a Timex, but I couldn't afford a Timex, so I got a Tomex. It's an off-brand. It's made in Hong Kong. It's guaranteed to last at least an hour.
At least until the game's over.
That's right.
Or match. Is this a soccer match?
It's a soccer match or contest.
Under the clock. Mickey Mouse.
That we can't.
People need to hear Scotty sometime.
Yeah,
we'd be off the air in no time. I would take care of it.
FBI going to investigate these games and subpoena one of these tapes. You better race it.
Apologize for the occasional sniffles. I have some allergies rearing their ugly head this afternoon on this beautiful afternoon, but it's got to be a little warm down there for the soccer players, but I'm sure they'd rather be warm than cold.
Yeah, and as the sun drops a little bit, it'll cool off some.
Well, thank you, Bob. I'm glad you pointed that out. Traditionally, it does that anyway.
Yeah, but you can see it, and it's not as bright as it was earlier.
None of us are.
Yeah, we got a little bit of clouds, Tim. Nice little breeze up here, which is nice.
Phantoms on the throw in, a shot on goal. Unfortunately for the Phantoms, directly at the goalkeeper. So an easy save recorded by Ruby Rathbun.
That's what I'm saying.
And the ball out of bounds and a 3. And here's the replay of the shot on goal. It was a pretty crisp shot, but unfortunately for the Phantoms, it was directly at the goalkeeper.
Well, Ruby has got a 3.93 GPA. She's ran cross country, is in governor's school.
We're going to have an infraction there. That'll be a tripping penalty. There is no assessment of a penalty per se, except for the possession of the ball. So now we'll have a free kick taken by the Phantoms.
Somebody could run it. They run it for track meet. Got volunteers to run it for track meet.
And if you hadn't already figured it out, Bob and I know just enough about soccer to be dangerous.
To get into trouble.
We're happy to bring the soccer coverage to you fans, and we were told once before that we don't need to try and get too deep into the terminology because our viewers
probably
know the game
they probably know more about it than we do.
Far better than we do, so don't even try and kid them. See? But we will try and identify the players as they excel.
You know, I think I have a, Wade Braxton said, I think I have a fungus because my foot like is turning coloration.
The action so far, for the most part, and a misplayed ball. That could be dangerous now. The Bethel Bruin trying to get to it before the goalkeeper, out of the goal, and a shot across, and then a good break for the Phantoms. Wow. The goalkeeper went to play the ball and misplayed it, and that ball was loose and a scramble, and she had to hustle to get back into the goal. That is Jamie Norman, who got a real break there. We got a corner kick coming up for the Bruins, but that could have easily been the tying goal. But a good hustle by the keeper. Watch this here. You're going to see she scrambles now to get back into the net. And then fortunately for the Phantoms, the shot on goal was directly at the goalkeeper and resulted in a save.
Well, Jamie's got a 4.15 GPA, one of the captains on the team.
That's a little scary when you realize that you've misplayed it and now there's no one back.
You are
goal.
the last
The last defense.
defense, right? We will pick a player of the game, Tim, from both of these teams this afternoon, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., which is located at the Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buckwalter is the owner. The shirt comes from the Island of Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Poquoson. They can meet all your needs on a sports level with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Give Dave Chubb a call at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
Kelly Green trying to shake off a misplayed hit in that resulted in her getting kicked by her opponent, totally unintentionally. But this is Kelly, by the way, kicking the ball with the left foot into Bruin territory. A missed header. And now the Phantoms have the ball moving into the attack zone.
And a kick wide.
Shot over the goal line, and that will result in a free kick for the goaltender.
But Tim, we also need to mention one of our corporate sponsors, Zooms. They are going to recognize the senior soccer player on all the soccer teams in the city of Hampton that has demonstrated academic excellence. And these players will receive a plaque at a school board meeting after the season. And we want to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support of the WHCS and our student athletes.
Zoom's a consistent supporter in every sport we've covered. We appreciate Zoom's and their efforts to not only support our coverage of high school sports so you fans can enjoy seeing your friends and daughters and sons, but they also, very, very importantly, recognize our scholar athletes as well as our athletes on the field. They continue to want to make sure that the importance of the school room is recognized, and that's a wonderful thing David Allen and the folks at Zooms do.
And they tell me that the fastest growing Zoom store is the one up there next to you.
Man, I guess.
Is there any correlation between that Zooms and its proximity to the Cole household?
Well, they're ordering a lot more potato wedges and French, not French, but fried chicken.
Aha.
They make some good stuff there. Of course, they have the great selection of Citgo gas at your Zooms, multiple locations throughout the peninsula. It's good stuff.
Good stuff.
Now, we've been waiting for a gas station in our neck of the woods for some time. We had to go 2 miles in either direction to find a gas station from our house. So now we have one. And my neighbor and I, last week, Steve Washington, who you know, the Washington family, Steve and I went out and hit some golf balls last Saturday up at Kiln Creek. And he and I were talking about how glad we were Zooms had chosen our neighborhood.
Steve said he was interested in my motorcycle, too, and he hadn't got back with me.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe he and I will go in together and buy that.
There you go.
Steve's a pretty fair golfer, by the way.
Yes, he is.
He downplayed it, but I could see, even though there was some rust on his golf clubs, that he obviously knows how to play the game. He hurt his wrist a month or so ago, fell off a ladder trying to be a home repairman. I'll take this opportunity to thoroughly embarrass him.
I'm sure he's going to like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, they called for an ambulance and everything, and they had a fire engine show up. And because he fell off the ladder and hurt his arm, but he also hit his head and walked into the house and passed out. And his wife was concerned for him.
Yeah, I guess she would be.
She called.
Well, he's in charge of the transportation of the city schools, isn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Yep.
I'm just listening.
Got another substitution for the Phantoms. Coming off the field is number 15, Katrine Lorber, who is the, and by the way, we need to say right up front here, if we haven't already, if we mispronounce any names, we truly apologize. We are not privy to a pronunciation lesson or any help in this prior to the game, so we apologize profusely.
Well, I do believe she told me it was Katrin.
Katrin? Okay.
Yeah.
It's Katrin Lorber,
Yep.
and she is the German exchange student, I understand.
For the most part, that's what you said.
She's out of the lineup right now. A very warm afternoon. The young ladies who are on the bench who have come out are taking liquids as they should.
Well, Katrin is got a 4.15 GPA. Tim.
Wow.
Is involved in the Odyssey of the Mind competition, which is very tough competition from what I understand. You don't get into it because you look good.
Like you said, World Cup is a lot different. The state is packed.
Phoebus will have the throw in. Kick right back out of bounds, so they'll do it again.
We have ball people on the side, young ladies that are chasing down the ball so they can keep the game continuous as much as they can, because as you said, the clock does not stop. So
Again, Phoebus in the Bethel end of the field. Now the Bruins try to get something going, but again, it's stolen. In previous conversations on the air about soccer, I have always appreciated the stamina that it takes to play soccer. It's
well, a lot of these young ladies, especially on the Bethel squad, run cross country. So, you know, they do that, I'm sure, because of the conditioning that helps them with soccer. They probably play soccer all summer long. When they end of school in the fall, they run cross country. But you're right. You and I wouldn't last long out there.
a little more than 30 minutes into the first half. We're well into the, I would say we've got about 12 or 13 minutes remaining. Our only score is a goal scored approximately 8 minutes into the first half by Scally of Phoebus. And that is Ramey. And again, we apologize if we are mispronouncing her name, but Ramey, I believe it is Scally, a junior midfielder / striker. Once again, field almost seems to be tilted.
Yeah.
As
well,
80% of the play has been at this end.
I do want to tell you a little bit about this field, Tim. This field will be gone.
Oh, no.
They're going to tear this field apart. They're going to put in a new sprinkler system. They're going to re-crown it. They're going to re-sod it. And guess where the All-Star contest for football is going to be held this year? Not here.
Not here.
At Todd.
And why is that?
Well, because this field won't be done.
It won't be done in time?
Yeah. Our first contest for football will be held here on the 25th of August. Last Friday in August, as we will start our.
Well, how did we end up going all the way through the last weekend in October?
That's just the way it works, Tim.
And start that early, huh?
Yep.
Son of a gun. Bayside and Kickintan. Got some interesting contests you've lined up here.
Well,
Mr.
you know, last year we got to do a couple of contests. We had to do and so we did a doubleheader. We did a Thursday, Friday. That's why we had a break in the middle of this season.
That explains it. We had back-to-back games. Sure,
Yeah.
Now I remember.
We no back-to-back games this year. And we're also going to get, last year we got Hampton and Phoebus with two outside opponents out of the district. This year we're getting Bethel and Kickintan with outside opponents.
Balanced schedule, by golly.
Yeah, we do what we can.
Then we've got some big stuff here. The third and fourth weeks of the football season. We've got Kickintan and Bethel, followed by Hampton and Bethel. And we got some big stuff happening there.
We'll get to know Bethel right well early. I think we got them first 3 games.
I tell you, the goalkeeper for Phoebus, Jamie Norman, is a gambler. She likes to come way out of the goal.
Well, and you know, there's a theory in that, and you can do the same thing in basketball, and is you put pressure on the offensive person to make a decision, and sometimes they don't have to make a decision early, and she is making them do that, and that's not bad strategy.
As long as they make the wrong decision. But when you come out to commit like that, if that player gets around you, as this is almost the case right here. Good shot, but over the net. Sure, the angle is cut off exactly, but that's what a goaltender does in hockey, for example. The further back in the net a hockey goaltender is, the more opportunity there is to shoot past them. So they will come out and cut off the angle. You're absolutely right. And that sounded like a Mr. Foley's voice out of the
Oh,
building.
Andy Foley in the truck.
He's a soccer guru, I understand.
I don't know about a guru, but he knows soccer.
Go back to sleep, Andy.
We want to talk about a crew we have.
No, we don't. We don't want to talk.
We don't want to talk about a crew. Scotty, we just have 2 cameras up here today.
We have
2 camera people working real hard, and that's Nathaniel Braxton, and down on the field we have our man ESPN Ron Baton. Bev Penn, I assume, is on the instant replay. Engineer Don Strauss. Graphics and audio, Andy Foley. And I don't know who Ron's got standing down there beside him, but Scotty Bowers, the big guy.
Giving you technical advice.
What's Scotty doing today?
Camera.
Everything that needs to be done.
That's what I thought.
Except he's not pulling any cables.
He's giving me technical advice.
Where are cable pullers that we have in football? You notice that what was it, Towns, young lady? Bethel is really tearing up the track this year. One of the top sprinters in the state.
Phantoms continue to put the pressure on the Bruins. This one goes out of bounds. Catherine Sarver. Well, actually, now they're going to say it's a throw in for the Bruins, so it must have gone off of her.
And that was, who's that throwing the ball in? That looks like number 13 for the Bruins. That's Caroline Lawson, got a 4.25 GPA, Timmy.
They just keep getting higher and higher.
Yeah, man.
4.25.
Yeah, she's National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, ran cross country.
And a 4.25 GPA.
Yeah, with all that other stuff.
Outstanding.
One young lady we got is a salutatorium, and if I can remember where, because I just wrote this stuff down with the numbers, so if I can find it or not.
Phoebus bringing in some fresh bodies, as out of the game are Katie Carpenter, number 12, and Angela Rice, number 8.
Well, I look at the roster, Tim, and Phoebus has got a whole lot more young ladies out there.
Well, and that, in a warm afternoon like this, it can be a difference. Also out of the game is Catherine Sarver.
They got 25 players on their team, as opposed to the Bruins, who's got 19. Do a lot more substituting that way.
Bruins on the attack. Seems like every time they start to get something going on offense, the Phantom defense clamps down. And there we see an example of offsides. The Bruin player was behind all of the defenders when she received the ball. Now, she can dribble past defenders and won't be offside, but she cannot receive the ball past the defenders. As we're in the final moments of the first half here, Yeah, there's no score clock working for us, but we started approximately 42 minutes ago.
Yes.
What did you find we were looking for? Bob's over here doing high fives with himself.
Katie Goodson.
Katie Goodson.
Yeah, the plays center midfield, number 7. Has a 4.3 GPA and is the Salutatorium, National Honor Society, Latin Club, cross country.
Well, now, for those of us who don't understand some of these things, how do you get better than a 4 point? Is that with weighted classes?
Yeah, weighted classes, yeah.
4.3. That's straight A's and then some.
And then some.
And we've got the officials signaling the end of the first half. So we have played the first half, and our score at halftime is Phoebus 1 and Bethel 0. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the second half of action after this brief timeout. All right, second half just underway from Darling Stadium. The Phoebus Phantoms girls team 1 and the Bethel Bruins, Lady Bruins team 0. Phoebus looking for their first victory of the season. They are 0-4 and have played actually one game fewer than the Bruins. The Bruins are 2-3 coming into the contest. And the Phantoms are not in last place. Even though they haven't won a game, Warwick has lost 5 contests and has the unenviable position of being in sole possession of last place at this point. Our only score came approximately 8 minutes into the contest, and the score was by Ramey Scally, who scored, and that is the only score of the contest, and Phoebus leads 1-0. You joined us late. The action was predominantly in the Bruin end of the field, as the Phantoms did a good job of keeping the pressure on the Bethel Bruins. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We hope you're enjoying our spring sports schedule here. We've had some baseball and some softball, and now we're getting into the soccer. We have another contest next week. We'll be back here at Darling Stadium for Kickintan and Hampton. We'll have both the boys and the girls contest, and we will also have the boys contest between these two schools also for you here later today on Channel 46. The Bruins score. So very quickly, the Bruins tie the contest, and as soon as I can make out the young lady's number on the back of her jersey, I will tell you who she was, or is.
Yes, we need to know that.
Come on,
and
Bruins.
why do they have to stand on the other, or be on the other side of the field? Huh?
More importantly, why do they have to have the gold numerals on a white jersey? It's 17, I think. Is that the number you see? See if we watch the replay here. See if we can. It was a beautiful play. This is a perfect example of a breakaway and an excellent shot. And until I'm corrected otherwise, I'm going to credit the goal to Molly Verlander, who is a senior midfielder.
Okay. And I don't have anything else for Molly.
So the Bruins didn't take very long, as they took less than 2 minutes of the second half.
Is that the young
here.
lady clear over yonder?
Number 17. That is she that just hit the ball. Blonde hair.
Yep, that's number 17.
Molly Verlander.
There was a breakaway. There was a 3-on-2.
So let's see if this gives momentum to the Bruins, as they were pretty much outplayed in the first half. Phoebus defense did a good job of thwarting any attack that was generated by the Bruins. Now the Phantoms with an opportunity. have a throw in by the Phantoms as the ball went out of bounds off of a Bruin.
That's Jen Moore, number 14, throwing the ball in, 3.6 GPA.
Do we have any of the leading score information for either team, Bob?
Nope, I sure don't.
Oh,
Jen is in the Key Club, the Drama Club, and National Honor Society.
Well,
Tim, I don't have a whole
that's
lot
good
of
stuff.
statistics.
Well, it's good stuff that we have about them. We mentioned before, we like to highlight their academic achievements as well as their on-the-field accomplishments. Of course, with the USA winning the World Cup recently, that has heightened the interest in soccer in general and girls soccer in particular. Again, the Phantoms on the attack. Did you ever play soccer, Bob?
Never played one time. The only ball when I was a kid played kickball, and that was it.
I'm living.
I don't know that I could as you got to be in awful good shape to run up and down that long field.
I'm telling you, I played a little bit when I lived in the Orient. Back when I was like a 7th and 8th grader, I played some, but it was not for people built like me. You've got to be small and lightweight and with lots of stamina, and none of those fit my description. So.
The small, lightweight, or stamina? None of them.
None of them. None of the above. Truly a sport requiring all of those things. Stamina being the most prevalent thing that you need to have. I like those sports where you stand and hit the ball or something like that.
Oh, you like baseball?
Golf. Baseball.
Oh, golf.
Golf and baseball.
Well, yeah, you get to hit the ball and you don't get to run. You don't have to run
That's
either.
right. You don't have to run in golf. I knew there was a reason I like golf. Should have taken it up years ago. Corner kick coming for the Phantoms. Good looking kick. Centered nicely, but the Phantoms unable to make contact until it had crossed the goal mouth. And then the kick over the net will result in a goalie kick. I hope. I'm trying to get this terminology correctly. And those of you at home that are listening and saying, what is he saying?
Well,
I
the
promise you I'm
goalie's
trying.
not going to kick the ball, Tim.
Well, and I don't even know that it has to be a goalie kick. Maybe it's just a free kick. But in any event, it can be kicked by the goalie. In fact, I know this. As little as I know this. The goalie doesn't even have to kick it. If it goes out, she can throw it.
Yeah.
And we saw in the boys' contest previously, we've actually seen a lot of the goaltenders who with great arms, with better accuracy, throwing the ball. So they would prefer to throw it. Next week, when we watch Kecoughtan and Hampton boys, we're going to see, at least at this point in time, Kecoughtan is in first place with Gloucester, undefeated at 4-0 with one tie. They will be playing Hampton, and Hampton with a 1-4 record.
I don't think so.
And in the girls, the Kecoughtan girls are 4-1, and they'll be playing the Hampton girls, who at this point in the season are 1-2. So we'll have an opportunity. The Kecoughtan school has traditionally been one of the strongest in soccer on the peninsula.
Well, they had soccer at Kecoughtan before the other schools did. They instituted it on a, I think it was just a voluntary basis of the coaches and everything when they first started. But anyway, the young lady that kicked the ball in down at the other end, number 5, that's Sarah Bennett. She's a sweeper. She's got a 3.5 GPA. She's in the Latin club and in the Key club. This is almost like a reverse of the first first half, Tim. The Lady Phantoms scored early on, and second half, the Lady Bruins scored early on. So we have a 1-1 tie right now. And I do want to remind the fans that we will pick a player of the game for both of these teams, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., located in Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buchwald is the owner. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Pocosin, and they can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. And, of course, also want to mention our corporate sponsor, Zooms, and David Allen, and they're going to allow us to recognize the senior from the baseball, softball, girls soccer, boys soccer, senior that has demonstrated academic excellence. And these players will receive a plaque at the school board meeting after the season's over. And we want to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes.
Katie Carpenter of the Phantoms took a shot to the face, an inadvertent kick of the ball. Unfortunately, not the foot, but the kick of the ball, and the ball hit her in the face off kind of like a ricochet. But she shook it off and continues to play, as she is a obviously tough athlete.
Yes, she is. She's got a 4.14 GPA, Tim. Is second vice president of the senior class, National Honor Society, Key Club, historian, math club, National Honor Society. Just does a lot, besides taking the ball in the face.
The Bruins on the attack. Ball.
The young lady just threw the ball in? Oh.
Young lady in our picture.
Carly works on the mass zone. We need to talk a little bit about that mass zone. We got the mass zone, fellas.
Oh, while you're looking up your information, you're ready, man. You're on
I'm
it.
ready to go.
You're on it.
I tell you, WHCS Channel 46 welcomes you to the Math Zone. This is a live, televised, interactive call-in program for students to get help with their math. And I want to tell you that all the technicians and camera people and all that are students. Join Tyler Elementary teacher Cassandra Hamilton and Davis Middle School teacher Sherry Martin. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Give them a call and join the Math Zone. The phone number is 850-5426. Okay, now what was you going to say?
I forgot.
Oh,
I was going to talk about, remind the folks about Homework 2000.
yes, that's
seen right here on Channel 46. We're not just a sports channel here, you know. We try to. It's another Math Zone. Same
Homework
thing.
2000, Math Zone, all the same.
Roll it into one.
And I guess we can talk a little about something else I can talk about here.
About 14 minutes into the second half. Goal by Bethel's Molly Verlander has tied the contest.
Some of the things you might want to check out on WHCS. We have HCS Reports that has a new look this year. Join anchor Beth Sadler Monday through Friday at noon and again at 5 p.m. for all the news and information about the Hampton City schools. And, of course, you can always catch the school board meetings on Channel 46. And this is a live telecast, and it's from the first and third Wednesday of each month at 7:30 p.m. And you can catch it on replay if you happen to be tied up during that first and third Wednesdays. But you can catch it right here on Channel 46. So tune in, stay informed.
Had a precarious play a moment ago as Ruby Rathman, the goalie for the Bruins, juggled a shot on goal but was able to hold on to it and then cleared the ball. Substitutions now for the Bruins.
I get a little chance here. I think I just run down and talk a little bit about these young ladies on both of these teams, because I know I don't get a chance to talk about each one of them.
No, that's a good idea, Bob.
Jamie Norman, number 1 for the Phantoms, is one of the captains, got a 4.15 GPA. She's number 10 in her class. She's in the Art Society, National Honor Society, and Math, National Honor Society. Kelly Green, number 2, is got a 3.35 GPA. National Honor Society, Key Club, choir member, yearbook staff. Catherine Sarver has got a 3.36. I don't know if I got anything else on her or not. Doesn't look like it. Amanda Jones, 3.4 GPA. Oh, yeah, I do have something else on Catherine Sarver, Tim. She's in ROTC, Alternative Government, Beautification Committee on the drill team. I just kind of scribbled all over this paper trying to catch up with what I'm doing here. Talk about Amanda Jones, 3.4. National Honor Society, she's Beautification Committee, Junior ROTC. Emily Phillips, she's number 7, 3.3. Swim club, she swims. She's on Key Club, German Club, course. Amanda Ainsley, 3.2 GPA. She's in the Drama Club. Katie Carpenter, 4.14 GPA. She's number 12. She's second vice president of senior class, National Honor Society, Key Club, historian, math, National Honor Society. Hillary Morrison, 3.23 GPA. She's editor for the school paper. She's in the German Club, yearbook. She's the public relations person for the yearbook this year. Hillary Morrison, 3.23 GPA. She's editor of the school newspaper, German Club. Oh, I just talked about her, didn't I? Jen Moore, number 14, 3.36. Drama Key Club, National Honor Society. Catherine Lover, she's the exchange student, 4.15 GPA. She's Odyssey of the Mind. Jessica Gallagher, 3.75. She's also one of the captains. She's TSA and National Honor Society. Leah Whitehouse, 4.36 GPA, Tim. I believe she's number 1 in her class. She isn't, she should be. Jennifer Zyba, and I apologize if I mispronounced his name, got a 3.7 GPA.
Got a chance. Cleared from the mouth of the goal as the Phantoms almost got the go-ahead goal there. Don't mean to interrupt you, but
that's all right.
Had a good opportunity. And again, the Phantoms on the attack.
Jessica Leto, number 19, has got a 3.86 GPA. She's also one of the captains. National Honor Society, Key Club, Marine Junior ROTC. She's going to go to Christopher Newport. Last year, she was second team All-District. Raimi Scally, number 21. What do I have for Jamie? Don't see anything. I didn't get a chance to talk to all these young ladies. Tasha Messenger is also one of the captains, number 22, 4.19 GPA. National Honor Society, Math, National Honor Society, Key Club, Drill Team, Marine JROTC, and she's going to Virginia Tech on ROTC scholarship, 4 years, Tim. Fantastic. That's about what I have.
Got a free kick for the Phantoms. Good shot on goal, but fielded cleanly by Rathbun. So the score remains 1-1, the Phantoms and the Bruins.
And for the Bruins, let me talk about a few of these young ladies. Alicia Hill's got a 4.17 GPA. She's number 4 out there. Is going to go to my alma mater, East Carolina University. She's in the National Honor Society, Spanish Club. I can't remember, read all my little stuff I've got down here. I wrote it so quick. Katie Goodson has got a 4.3 GPA. She's number 7. She's National Honor Society, Lanton, cross-country track. Sarah Bennett, 3.5 GPA. She's number 5, Latin Club, Key Club. Crystal
Got a
Cheese.
chance. Score.
All right, who was that?
16 for the Phantoms. That would be Jessica Gallagher.
Get a chance to watch that on replay. Watch it on replay. Here she comes. Oh, come in great, didn't she? And then took a tumble.
Yes, she did. Went down hard. Goal scored at the approximately the 20-minute mark of the second half. And now the Phantoms, who've had the pressure on ever since they gave up that quick goal at the very beginning of the second half to the Bruins. They've been carrying it to the Bruins and paid off that time with a goal by Gallagher to make it 2-1 in favor of the Phantoms.
Angela Prejean, 3.7. She's number 3 for the Bruins. She's in the Key Club, Bruin Buddies, Governor School, and sings in the church choir. Ruby Rathbun, I talked about her. She got a 3.93 GPA. She's the goalkeeper. Well, we have some fast and rough action down there.
The Phantoms are putting it on them. They've got another opportunity in on goal, and Rathbun is able to make the save, but the Phantom offense has been really picking it up here in the last few minutes.
Continue with the Bethel roster here. Caroline Lawson, 4.25 GPA. She's number 13. National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society. Also runs cross country. Ramona Robbins, 3.6 GPA. She's number 11 out there. She Key Club and sings in the chorus. Jasmine Keene, 3.8 GPA. She's number 15. Latin Club and National Helpers. Young ladies do a lot, keep very busy. But you're right about the action staying down to the right end of the field this time. It was down at the other end at the first half.
Phantoms have had the best pressure in the contest and continue to keep it on the defenders, and that will result in a throw-in by the Phantoms. So they'll be again on the attack, trying to put it past Ruby Rathbun. Ruby had no real chance on that last goal. And again, the ball kicks across the touchline. About halfway through the second half.
Well, it looks like both of the boys' squads are here. So at the end of this contest, we'll run down on how much time we're going to have, and we'll try to get the lineups and get a little information if I can. Oh!
A header, just a deflection, and it almost got past the keeper.
Right in the corner.
Yeah, but a good play by Rathbun to keep the ball out. Here's the replay. Watch this. This is a header. It just kind of grazes the player's head. And
what's that, number 21?
Yeah, good scramble by the goalkeeper to prevent the goal. And again, another shot on goal, which she plays.
That was Remy Scally is the one that, and she works in the Blue Phantom Inn.
You're going to have to help me out on that one. What is the Blue Phantom Inn?
Great food. It's like a restaurant that they have at Phoebus High School that you learn restaurant business.
Oh.
They serve lunches in there, and as Scotty says, it's good food.
The Blue Phantom Inn?
Blue Phantom Inn. Right at Phoebus High School.
Huh. I could go for something right now. I was going to go down between games and get some hot sausage from the concession stand.
Lots of luck.
The concession stands aren't open?
I don't think so, Tim.
Scotty told me they were.
Oh, Scotty.
That's how he got me here. I guess he didn't. Way to go, Scotty.
Yeah, and then you thought Scotty was just an easy guy.
Yeah.
He's a little sneaky sometimes, isn't he?
Sneaky.
He knew how to get you here. He knew what your weakness was.
Yeah, hot sausage.
Hot sausage, and Tim hightailed it here.
Well, I'm out of here. I'll hang around.
Appreciate that.
I'm already here. Might as well hang around. Again, the Phantoms playing in the Bruin end of the field, keeping the pressure on. Phoebus 2 and Bethel 1 as we'll get a substitution. If you join us late, the Phantoms open the scoring with Remy Scally scoring approximately 8 minutes into the first half, and that score held up until the half. And then just 2 minutes into the second half, Molly Verlander scored to tie the game for the Bruins. And now Jessica Gallagher has untied it at the 20-minute mark, making it 2-1 Phantoms. And again, they are in the Bruin end of the field on the attack. And quite frankly, they've really outplayed the Bruins. The 0-4 record is not indicative of the play that I've seen today on the part of the Phantoms. We will have the boys contest between these two schools, so please keep an eye out for that here on Channel 46. Bruins try to push it upfield, and again, ball goes across the touchline, and it will be a free throw in for the Phantoms. It would almost seem as if the Bruins are just content to continue to kick the ball across the touchline.
Well, there's got to be a strategy there that better make them throw it in. We can at least set up a defense.
A header hits the goalpost.
Wow.
Rebound was loose and covered by Rathbun. And again, that ever-present number 21, Scally. Remy Scally has been there, and she watched the replay here. You're going to see a good effort right here. A header right off the goalpost, and then the rebound just wide to Rathbun's left. And now the Bruins take it down the other way, and the Phantoms taking the pressure off, just kick it across the touchline. So now the Bruins on the attack. And we've got a fresh complement of Bruins coming in. 4 fresh players crossing the line for the Bruins, reminiscent of bringing a whole new team.
Really?
Basically, but to get some fresh legs in there. Coach over at Bethel obviously realizes that time is winding down here and need a goal here to force an overtime situation. We mentioned it a couple of times, don't want to be too redundant, but the weather this afternoon rather warm, temperature in the mid-80s, first real warm weather of the season. Later on in the season, that will seem like a nice spring day,
Yes,
but right
it
now
will.
the warmer temperature has to be telling some toll on these young ladies. It hasn't cooled off too much.
Well, and Tim, they're not used to this kind of weather either. It's
been frosty. So this is a factor, although they seem to be moving quite well and well conditioned at this point. School season winding down. This is soccer season about half over, I would imagine. Bruins on the attack. That wall of defenders by the Phantoms preventing much penetration. Phantoms seem to be almost magnetized to the ball. Wherever it is, they seem to get there.
Well, keep your eyes open for players of the game, Tim.
I've got one in my eyes for the Phantoms. I got to work on one for the Bruins.
Okay.
Certainly at this point, Verlander's goal gives her a leg up on the, no pun intended, of playing soccer. You have a leg up. So you get it.
Oh, Timmy.
No, it wasn't intentional. It was just,
It
just happened. Soccer happens.
Do you have one of these?
No, but I'll take that one. Never have too much information.
All right.
Bruins on the attack. Good job of clearing the ball. And then it goes out of bounds. It should be a throw-in for the Phantoms, and it is. Keeping it up the field, trying to keep the pressure off of the Bruin keeper. Roughly 30 minutes into the second half now. The time becoming a factor for the Bruins. Down by a goal. Angela Prejean on the throw-in. Now the ball out of bounds. And the Phantoms will return the favor. Up to Scally. She has it stolen. Now the Bruins on the attack, and the same Verlander has a breakaway. Good defense. She's bumped from behind. Let's see how this one is called. I believe they're going to give a free kick to Verlander. Right at the goal, not the goal line, but the line. Let's see. I've got my terminology here. Bob, help me out here quickly. Don't let them score while I'm looking away.
Hold on a second. I don't know, Tim. I don't know what that line's called, but it's.
I got it here. I got it. Verlander's shot, goal.
Whoa.
Beautiful kick. That is actually called the penalty area. So there was an infraction setting up the free kick, and here's your replay.
Just over the head of the
Molly
goalkeeper.
Verlander has made the decision much easier now for our choice of the player of the game for Bethel, hasn't she? I was leaning towards her, but that kind of made that pretty easy. Although we've still got time to go, but it is 2-2 now. Molly Verlander with a pair of goals for the Phantoms. Excuse me, for the Bruins, rather. We officially recognized our crew. I think we did talk about them, right?
And talked about them.
You're always talking about them, but did we tell the folks tell the folks at home who they are?
Yeah, I did that too.
Okay. Ball takes some strange hops. There is a lot of spin on that soccer ball a lot of times, and it looks like it's coming right toward one of the players, and it'll take a sideward hop or spin away from them. Phantoms, who have never trailed in this game.
You know, a thankless job is getting the ball when it goes out of bounds.
No, unless they give her some pizza after the game, it's pretty thankless. I'm starting to get hungry, you know.
I noticed that every time you talk, it's hot sausage, pizza.
Food reference of some sort.
Hot wedges.
Nice job of dribbling there and saving on the goal line. Good job by the Bruins. Equally good. That was Jennifer Ziemba, number 18 for Phoebus, doing a good job. Ziemba. Substitution for Jack Zamora's team. Number 14 in the game, that's Jen Moore, And she'll replace Angela Rice, number 8. Phantoms on the attack, intercepted by the Bruins. Shot on goal, high over the net, and that'll be a goalie kick coming up. Played 35 minutes of the second half. 2-2. Now, if it is a tie, not sure how they handle that, Bob. They used to have a shootout. I'm going to assume they do the same thing.
I think that's what they do.
Although you can have a tie on your record because according to the standings, there have been a couple of ties already. Phoebus will have the throw in. Important play coming up here. Phantoms control it, but lose control on a bad pass.
I know it.
Excellent effort to save the ball by Jen Moore. Unfortunately, she saved it to a Bruin who was trailing the play. Ball still live down the sideline. Now it goes out of bounds. A little more difficult to tell on that far sideline, but a play for the Bruins.
At least we're talking about the game,
Oh, what? Something happened.
What was that? Oh, that was huge coffee.
I was clearing my throat. I was trying to figure out what happened there.
You know what we do? We have this thing that flips up. It works. It's our cough button.
Okay, Tony. Well, you pick on me. You're in trouble.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Hey, there's no food. I'm grumpy.
You went and got yourself a candy bar. I didn't notice you brought me one back.
No.
I brought you something today.
Well, that was very kind of you, too. But I can't eat it. A little chewy. But I do appreciate the gift. That was very kind of you. Time in regulation winding down now. We're less than 10 minutes to go in regulation time. Corner kick coming up for the Phantoms. Can't talk about the gift you gave me, Scotty.
Scotty doesn't miss it.
He doesn't miss much. Another corner kick coming up as the ball kicked across the goal line by a Bruin, so allows the corner kick again. And again, that arching kick, dangerous play, and batted out of there by the goalie, the keeper. Rathman did a good job of getting the ball out of harm's way. Now the Bruins on the attack down in a 2-2 tie. Molly Verlander with a couple of second half goals have tied the contest. Phantoms looking for that elusive first victory of the season. Ball is onside. I like the line that splits the field in half, Bob. It's called the halfway line. I like the logic here.
That's
the logic's
logical.
good. It's a halfway line. That is the center mark. And that's the dot in the middle, and that is, in fact, the center circle. You're exactly right.
I think Scotty's being fed a little bit by Andy Foley down there. I don't think Scotty played that much soccer either.
Andy can feed it. He knows his soccer. Bruins with the opportunity here in the Phantom side of the field. Across the touch line. Hit by number 15, Katrin Lorber. This is Scally getting to the ball. If the ball is anywhere to be had, she is usually around it. She is my candidate or my pick for the player of the game on the Phoebus side. Not just because of the goal, quite frankly. She has been around the ball all afternoon. She's had a couple of good opportunities. Again, the Bruins playing defense. Phantoms putting the pressure on. Phantoms want to get that last opportunity as time is winding down now. Less than 5 minutes, and this is going to be a free kick as the Phantoms knock it across the goal line. And that is the signal of the end of regulation. Must be 40-minute has. You and I were thinking it was 45, Bob, but that's exactly 40 minutes.
Was it exactly 40? Well, that's good. I was told 4 o'clock start instead of 4:30.
And let's check with Andy Foley. Mr. Foley.
He wasn't sure either.
Are you? I don't know. Maybe the girls play a shorter game. I don't know. But we started this one at 25 after 5, and it's a little. And what did you say? 40 minutes. All right. Should we take a break here while they do the coin toss? I guess they'll decide on the shootout. Okay. Well, what are they doing now? Then they're meeting, and you have no clue. Thank you, Andy. I knew we could count on you. Oh, I see. Well. The officials.
They're sending the respective players back to the benches, but they're still standing in the center.
So regulation is over with, and there is that Carly? Is that who you said? Carly Herring, who works on the math zone. Dedicated camera operator, we're told. All right, so it is overtime, 5 minutes, and that's it. If after the overtime period there is still no additional scoring, then that's it. And am I to understand that it is a sudden death overtime, or is it a 5-minute overtime period? Period.
Well, I think it would be 5 minutes. If they're going to give you a time limit, it's not sudden death.
Well, they do that in hockey. They'll give you a 5-minute overtime in regular season games in hockey, And if after 5 minutes there isn't any score, then it remains a tie. But if you score in the first 10 seconds, then there is no 5 minutes. It's over with. So don't know. Yeah.
Give me somebody, babe.
Right. So, do you know, Andy, if the overtime is a sudden death overtime, or is, in other words, first team to score or 5 minutes, whichever comes first?
Come on, get back in. Get in. Come on, get in. Pick up the
2
limit.
full 5-minute overtimes. Okay, well, we're on the clock. We're getting time and a half, right? Hello?
Silence. You noticed that?
No, now I understand we've lost communication with the truck.
Well, Tim.
Communication has broken up with the truck. Any reference to overtime,
Just went out the window,
the
didn't it?
signal from the truck has been interrupted.
What did I do with
No break.
Bethel roster with starters and stuff on it?
Ron Bain's getting all the scoop from the referee down
I
here.
appreciate that, Ron.
Two 5-minute overtimes.
They'll probably blow the horn and then say in the first one, and they'll probably start again.
Got a chance for the Phantoms, but good defense. And they're able to, the Bruins are able to send it across the goal line, which will now bring up a corner kick. So I'm going to assume that if we have 2 5-minute overtimes, that it is a time that during which if a team scores, that ends the game. That would be my assumption. I think that's probably correct. We do apologize to our soccer fans. We just don't have as much knowledge of this game. We had hoped to have a expert join us for some of the commentary, but that was unable to be worked out. Corner kick is out toward midfield now. And now the Bruins on the attack. Again, a reminder, we will have the boys contest also here on Channel 46 between Phoebus and Bethel.
And, Tim, we do want to recognize the players of the game.
Okay.
And they are.
They are from Bethel. No great surprise. Molly Verlander with 2 goals this afternoon, the tying goal, sending this contest into overtime. And for Phoebus, Ramey Scally. She scored the first goal of the game and has been all over the field. High tip header, almost got past Rathman, but a good job to stop it from going across. Phantoms again with a good chance, unable to capitalize. A race for the ball and still alive now. Weak shot on goal, fielded. And the whistle sounds, and I'm going to guess that's the end of the first 5-minute overtime.
Is it we going more than one?
2.
We go 2.
Yep, that's what I was anticipating. They will change ends of the field. There's no clear advantage today, but on occasions when there's a wind, that could be a factor. So now they will play another 5 minutes, and should there be no scoring, that will end the game as a 2-2 tie.
We do want to thank Islander Hardware and Sporting Good and Engraving Inc. for allowing us to recognize those two players of the games. For the Lady Phantoms, Rami Scally, and for the Bruins, Molly Verlander.
And we want to thank Zooms for being our corporate sponsor this afternoon. David Allen and the fine folks at Zooms. They have multiple locations, not only in Hampton. I've got to get away from my 5 locations in Hampton now to include multiple locations, including Newport News. Nice folks there, too. I stopped in the other day to get gas, and I was talking to the young man behind the counter. They employ mostly, young adults, and very polite, very friendly.
Very personable.
Yeah, real nice people.
Well, they have to be to you. I mean, you probably pay most of their salary.
Well, they did call me Your Majesty when I came in. I didn't know what that was about. But,
oh, King Cole? We going to that now?
That's right. Something about I was putting one of them through college, huh? With potato wedges and fried chicken.
I got a big kick out of it. We got a young man that plays golf down there. I say young, he's a senior citizen. His name is JD, and they get the first tee time every Tuesday and Thursday in the morning. And when I'm down there, and he tells me, he introduced me, he says, I want to introduce you to Gilly. Gilly is the president of my grandchildren's college fund. He says he's already put my children through. Now he's helping my grandchildren.
Occasional wagers on the course, perhaps?
I think they paid like a dime a hole or something. It's really funny, but the way he introduced him just cracked me up. President of my grandchildren's college fund.
Oh, that's nice. Phantoms now having to play some defense. This is pretty much a change from the trend of this game. If you joined us late, it's been pretty much the Phantoms on the attack. They've never trailed in this game, but they are tied up at 2. We're in the second overtime. And I would suspect at this point, I don't care what great condition these young ladies are in, they've got to be taking some deep breaths at this point.
Got to be getting a little wore out.
Legs start to feel like lead. Wait a minute, I'm just talking about myself now. I don't know. But, just coming up the steps to the booth here was enough. Got to figure out how to make golf an aerobic sport.
I think the way you do that is jog to the ball.
Just jog to the.
Get out of the cart.
I hate it when it's cart path. When it's cart path only, I hate it. Oh, are you kidding me? Walk the course? Wait a minute, let's get back. Well, you're much younger than I am, Andy.
Andy's much younger than just about everybody who works around here.
That's true.
Him with his Volkswagen Beetle.
Was that his?
Yes.
I thought that might be his.
Nice looking little car.
Phantoms now with an opportunity. Good job by the Bruin defense to break up that play. As we wind down now, we're in the final minutes of the second overtime. 2-2. Phantoms with the last opportunity. And they're bringing up all the defenders. Looks like Jack Zamora has said, look, let's put the big pressure on all 11 players with the exception of the goalkeeper. are up into the Bruin zone. Kick goes over the goal line, and that'll give the Bruins a free kick.
My girl on the team told me that I don't think it's true.
Phantoms intercept.
And that's it.
And that will be the referee's whistle to end the contest. So after 2 halves of regulation and 2 overtime periods, the game will go in the record books as a tie. Bethel 2 and Phoebus 2. Want to thank Zooms again for their support, and thank everyone for watching. Our players of the game, Molly Verlander and Ramey Scally. For Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon, everybody.